Hello everyone, it's Arlene with Design with Arlene. Welcome back to, this is the third installment in this series, Scrapbook Sunday. Today I want to show you some borders that I have made for the page layouts. These borders are made with everything from punches to stamps and even leftover paper. So let's go ahead and get started and I will show you the first project. I'm starting out with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of the soft succulent paper. This is one of the new in color designs or colors. And then what I'm actually also have is a piece of, just a 2.5 inch by 11 inch piece of white, or basic white. And then what I've done is we have this really fun new paper. These are the new in colors, and it is vellum shimmer paper. And there's different colors in here, all the new in colors, and it's gorgeous. So it's a little bit see-through, but it's got this beautiful glimmer on there. So I use those, and with the flowers and leaves punch, I cut out all these different colors. So I did one punch for each color. And what I like to do, there's different sizes, and this is just really pretty, and it's see-through, so it gives it a nice soft shimmery effect. So just go ahead, and I'm going to be placing these onto my 2.5 by 11 piece of white. This is going to make the border. I like to use some of the smaller as well as the larger leaves, and don't forget that darker one here. Okay, and once I have all of that, I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And I'm not going to be adding I'm just only using one of the punches, and I'm not going to worry about the leaves either. And I think I've got it set pretty well, and so I'll go ahead and glue this down. So I have all of these glued down. I just used the liquid glue, and all I really did was just put a little dot in the middle. So they're sticking up a little bit, which is going to be okay. So when you get it into your page protector, that it'll just slide right in there and be protected. And then I went ahead and cut a piece of the evening evergreen, and this is 11 inches by 3 inches. This is just a great formula for all around scrapbook pages to make. And all of these actually can be converted over into a card as well, which I will be showing that on my Facebook page. So if you are interested in seeing that, head on over to my Facebook page. You can search that, just Design with Arlene, and I will be on there. You can see that and follow. And every Friday I have a Facebook Live. Okay, and then take this over like this. I'm going to just going ahead and put it right onto the soft succulents. The soft succulent paper. And again, you can always embellish, but I'm trying to show you that you can do with just a few products, you can make your own scrapbook page quick and easy. So you don't need to have all of that fancy equipment or all the nice embellishments. They are fun to work with, but know that you don't have to do it. So this gives you plenty of room to add a few pictures or one special one with enough journaling at the bottom too. All right, let's get on to the second page layout. All right, so you're seeing a theme here. I'm working with borders, so this is going to be the basic white that, again, I've cut at 11 inches by 2.5. And then, I don't know about you, but I have a lot of leftover designer series paper when I'm playing, and I have all these little strips, and sometimes I wonder what to do. These are actually just strips of paper. They're 3 inches, but they're anywhere from 3/4 to 1/2 inch that I've cut, and I use the Your Peach designer series paper. It is double-sided, so you can get all these wonderful designs. I use three separate sheets of paper, so that is actually going to give me 6 designs. And all I want to make it kind of at a diagonal. So I'm just going to line this up and then glue this down to cover most of this border. And when I'm done, I'll be right back. Okay, now you can see that I've got most of it all covered up with all those little strips. There is a little spot up here that needs to be covered up, as well as a small spot down here. So what I'm going to do is just take I have one piece left. Actually, I did really good as far as counting out how many strips I needed. I think I might have a little bit left, a little bit of coverage that needs it, but you will get the idea. So I just put a little bit of that liquid glue down, and I'm going to place the last strip that I have, and over to, I'm trying to make that corner just touch on the bottom right hand side, so that way I can trim the rest of it off and hopefully be able to use some of that for the top of the page. So I turn this strip over here, okay, and I've got a little bit left here, and then place some glue up on the top, and this will just go, and I will glue that on top. Okay, so it covers perfectly. And then when it's dry, you want to flip it over, and then all you do is just trim that excess off. So you're really covering this whole strip of your basic white, but this acts as the guideline, and this is what you glue your strips onto. And then you just remove all of the excess, so when you flip it over, you'll have a strip. This is the Your Peach Designer Series paper, but of course you can use all of your scraps. So if you're like me, you'll have a lot of them around the house. And I'm taking a piece of the Pear Pizzazz. So this is cut 1/2 inch larger than this, so it's 3 by 11 inches, and just going to adhere that on. So you see the theme throughout this is just the border. You know, I have 2.5 inches by 11 inches, and then I border that piece with a larger piecer that's about 1/2 inch. Okay, and then I'm bringing in a piece of Calypso Coral just because it's so beautiful. And I'll take the Stampin' Seal since it's a drier adhesive, and we'll place that over onto now the left. So just like I did in the previous video, last week's video, again, this can be the left side of the page layout, and you can actually make this exact and then just flip it over for the right side. So you can have a 2-page layout just by using the same border. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next project. This page does not have any stamps on it yet. We haven't used stamps yet, have we? But it has some really fun colors. So I wanted to show you, these are rainbow colors. I have the Poppy Parade, the Mango Melody, this is Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Pacific Point, and Gorgeous Grape. So these are the colors. And what I've done is I've taken the Layering Circles dies, and I have cut a few of these out. So I'm going to be using the 2 larger of the colors, and see these smaller ones, I'm going to set aside these to make a card. So that will be on the Facebook Friday that is next week. So let's set these aside. And then next I'm bringing my paper trimmer out. And what I'm going to do with these is cut them in half. So each of these circles will be cut in half. And I'll see that these circles are about 1 3/4. So all I'm going to do is just going to place that about halfway. So we'll just measure that, trim that, and I will repeat the process for the rest of the circles. Okay, so now that I have all of these circles cut in half, I've already started the page where I've taken each circle, and I'm doing it in a rainbow order, and I just have 5 of these all the way across. You can also take a ruler to help you to make it straight on the bottom here, which I'm laughing because it did not help me on this green one. So, but you know what, that's okay because we can cover that little part up. But this helps you get as straight as you can there on the bottom. And the next, I'm going to make a little bit of a design here. So the next thing I want to do is take one of my other half circles, and I'm going to flip it over, but I'm going to place it to the left. So it's not going to be making that complete circle, but rather it's going to be off-centered a little bit. So I'll take a little bit of glue, and I will glue it there. And the next one I will do is the Mango Melody. And the next one will be the yellow. This is the Daffodil Delight. and then the green. So this is the green where I did not get it nice and level. So what I can do is just either, you can always take like a little knife there, like a little X-Acto knife, and trim it, or I'm just going to go over that part of it. And this liquid glue is pretty strong, so just kind of press on it a little bit longer and it will cover that up. And the next thing I'm going to be doing will be the blue. This is the Pacific Point. Okay. And then I have a little bit left over, and I really want to introduce that gorgeous grape right there. So I will go ahead and put, even though it's just a little bit, but it will be like that. Okay. And then I'm going to, there is your border right there, and you can keep going on if you want to. So you would have the Mango Melody would be right here. In fact, we can do this like this. And then we've got the yellow, which will get introduced like this. And the green, so you can keep going on and on if you want to. All right, we've got this finished, and this is the fun little pattern that this makes. It's kind of like a little a squiggly line or a snake, it reminds me of. And I cut this basic white down to 8 by 10.5 inches, and that way I have an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. This is the Bermuda Bay, and all I need to do is I'm going to mat this basic white onto the Bermuda Bay, and you have a fun summer page, very bright, great for, like I said, summertime. Also for kids, this is nice and bright color, so this is lots of fun. But just remember, you can make this border with any color that you want. Even designer series paper is really fun. All right, so let's get on to the last project. Okay, so for my last project, I knew that no stamp tutorial would be complete without showing some kind of stamp. So this last project, this border is going to be made using the Painted Poppy stamp set. I'm actually going to be using just one of the stamps from this set here. And I also switched it up a little bit. So remember the 2.5 by 11 piece of paper? This is cut from that. It's actually 8.5 by 2 inches. I made it a little bit thinner because it would work better with the poppy stamp. And I'm taking the base, the Memento Black ink, the Tuxedo Memento Black ink, and I'm going to just stamp these poppies all across. So I started in the middle, so that way I know I can make it more continuous and I can go off the edge of the paper. And it helps me to kind of balance it out and to measure it myself a little bit easier. I'm not one to get out rulers very often, but I have been known to do that before. Okay, so we've got this nice and quickly stamped up. It's just one stamp set. And then I'm taking the Stampin' Blends. I've got the Poppy Parade and the light and the dark. And this is just going to, let's try the light one first. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of go in here and color these little poppies here. And then blend with my dark, just ever so slightly. I'll have a little bit of dark in there. And then with my light, I like to go back one more time and blend the light and the dark together. Okay, and I'm going to repeat that process, and then every once in a while you'll see in this little set you do get to see the little middle of the flowers here, and I'm going to be coloring that in the Mango Melody. This is the light Mango Melody. So I will finish this up and I'll be right back. Okay, this strip is all colored in, ready to go. And I also have a piece of the Poppy Parade. This matches so beautiful. Well, of course it does, because they're matching Stampin' Blends. But look how those poppies just pop out of that basic white. I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down. And then I'm taking a piece of the Mango Melody, which is another beautiful page, totally summer. Now, you see where I'm going to put this at the top now instead, but you can also put this at the bottom if you want. Or you can do it maybe like a more narrow strip and have one at the top and one at the bottom. I'm going to be placing this one just at the top. And this, when you make a 2-page layout, can easily go on to the second page, can be exact, or you can, you know, flip it around. Of course, the poppies would be on the other side, but then the right-hand side of the page layout can be with having the border on the bottom. So one on the top left and the other page on the bottom right. So let me bring back the other pages that I have made. So this is the one with the vellum shimmer. And these are using up some scraps of designer series paper. These are using die cuts with cardstock and just making a border out of shapes, the circle, the layering circle dies. And then of course I have the black, the stamped image with using the painted poppy stamp set. So I hope you enjoyed this. We have one more installment to go, which is next Sunday that we'll be posting, and I'll be showing ways to use embellishments and taking it a little step further, different shapes and putting them together. Again, I'm going to be using this kind of the same designs in here and making some cards for the following Facebook Friday. So I hope you'll join me if you look up under Design with Arlene on Facebook, and you'll see us there. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a great day. Bye.